television.
Now, for 4 months now, over 15 million learners in Kenyan primary and secondary schools have been locked out of education. Now, while some are lucky to have their parents or guardians afford them alternative means of content delivery, millions remain locked out. Now, the reality that will remain for at least another 5 months has parents across the country afraid of the minors engaging in risky behavior, as has been reported in numerous cases of early pregnancies. In our special report, Lessons in Triumph, our reporter Makori Ongechi explores how parents in informal settlements are imparting new skills on their children as they strive to keep them away from bad influences.
Along these feeder routes in the narrow alleys of Nairobi's Viwandani slums are the new classrooms for these children who initially enjoyed their game in extensive playfields at their respective schools. Today, they are not at school, and this has been their life for the last 4 months. This here is their new class and playground, and they're just about to get into the real action. Zabron Ondieki is a resident of Viwandani, a Kiswahili word for industries, a reference to the industrial activity that never ceases not too far away from here. Zabron lives with his family in this area.
Hello.
Together with his wife and 10 children, they occupy this house. The house is divided into 3 to ensure the boys and the girls have their separate rooms. And then this is their living room. Zabron is one of the many parents grappling with the impacts of COVID-19. This year he was going to have a candidate in Form 4 at the Moi Forces Academy. His second-born son, Eric Otoma, a brilliant young man who scored 400 marks in his KCPE exams 4 years ago. He's had a candidate before, 20-year-old Gladys Riziki, who is currently in her second year at Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, pursuing a mathematics course. This year served him a surprise, and like many other parents, he's at a loss. The challenge is bigger here in the slums. Zabron says even before COVID-19, life in the slums was not a walk in the park.
Slums ina mambo mengi. Ina madawa ya kulevya, ina kutanganyika. Hawa watoto sana ukiwachunguza wanatokanga nje na huwezi jua anaenda kupatana na mtu gani. Lakini unapofuatilia na anaona mtoto huyo anaona kweli unamjua, hataenda zaidi.
The tales of the slums have been the same old stories. But for some here, it is their aim to tell a different tale. That of not just surviving, but thriving. To be the example. And indeed, Zabron and the many who live here have refused to be put down by the global pandemic. And he says this is the time for parents to rise to the occasion.
Watoto wanataka malezi na wanataka furaha kwa wazazi. Na unapotoka asubuhi, unawaacha kwa mikono ya Mwenyezi Mungu.
Everywhere around this informal settlement, the stereotype of endless misery is replaced by a bustling community where children still find time to play. This Standard 5 people, for instance, has a new role, that of teaching the not-so-common skill of hula hoop, made to work with what is available here. A perfect lesson, no doubt, and Lana is only too grateful. But such dreamers are not only found in Nairobi's informal settlements. Across the country, children and their parents are defying the odds. 20 kilometers away from Kajiado town is Ilimolian village. Here we meet 19-year-old Mpano Lekutit. Born and raised here, in a community that has a history of female genital mutilation, child marriage and cultured preference for the boy child over girls, this girl has attended local day school for the whole of her education life. She has watched her age mates get married off while in primary schools. But she has risen above the obstacles, including having to walk long distances each day to school to attain a mean grade of B+ in last year's KCSE examinations. She awaits her admission to Africa International University later this year.
Ilikuwa kama trend, ukifika hapo you have to be married or you have to at least umeoleka at that age. But some parents give in, but my mom never gave in to such.
Her achievements this far have become a motivation not only for her mother, but all women in this community. It has taken an unbridled effort to change the perspective of the community on the immeasurable abilities of the girl child. Parents have taken her story as a lesson to all the children. Each evening, they gather inside this manyata for vital life lessons, guided by the distilled wisdom in older women. Here, they have a lot to be grateful for, even as the country gropes in the dark on how to tackle COVID-19.
Wazee hapa Masaini wanaogopa sana kukaa na wasichana. Kwa hivyo unakuta mama tu ndiye anang'ang'ana kuongea na wasichana. Kwa hivyo jukumu kubwa sana la mama ahakikishe huyu msichana wake amefungua moyo wake yote, amueleze shida. Akishafungua hautapata tena shida. Kama ulikuwa na wasichana wawili ama watatu, hautakuwa tena na shida.
As Lekutit waits for the resumption of normalcy in Kenyan schools, she offers the much needed help with house chores and is quick to learn new skills like knitting from her mother and grandmother. These materials are sold in the local market, and it is the proceeds from the sales that she hopes will pay part of her school fees when she is admitted. In Western Kenya, it is the harvesting season, as is evident here in Kandui, Bungoma County. This family of 10 children is out to harvest the fruits of their labor. Unlike the school setting, here they are practically being taught the rewards of hard work. Maize is not just a staple food. It is the lifeline. The effort to have it cleaned before it is taken to the miller is communal and a reflection of what happens in this homestead, selecting the spoiled maize and removing it from the good ones. They are also learning the value of strength that resides in unity and the dangers of a divided approach to performing some of these tasks. Before they are released to go out to play, each one must complete their assigned tasks. Like today, while others have to sort the good maize to be taken for milling, some must clean this area.
Tembea huku na huku hawana hiyo tabia. Sababu baba yao ni mkali, akiwaambia ninaenda, nikirudi mwe mmefanya hii na hii. Akirudi anapata wamefanya kila kitu.
Education CAS Mumina Bonaya says parents must take up their roles during this stay-at-home season.
This COVID period will ultimately end, and what will be left with as parents will be fond memories of how we've spent our time with the children. As government, we are not asking parents to be teachers. We are simply telling them to play the role that they are expected to play, that is parenting. Talking of safety of our children, I think the primary responsibility lies with the parents. There are some who are working. They probably leave in the morning and come back in the evening. But you can still monitor what else your child is engaging in. You need to have work together to draw up a schedule, a timetable sort of, where you know that your child at any given time is engaged in an activity, and it is a safe activity that they're engaging in.
The discussion which we try to build in the parental engagement and empowerment pillar in the competency-based curriculum is what each person is able to do. And this is the sense of agency that you find with some parents. And maybe what we need to urge is that we need to also have a sense of urgency. Because if you leave a child for a while, it's very easy to lose that child. So it is about what are these little things that collectively each person in their different spaces can be able to do.
The government announced the cancellation of the 2020 academic calendar, implying that these children will continue to stay at home for at least 6 months. Parents are encouraged to make use of this time in creating useful familial connection with their children, not only in their academic works, but also how to become productive members of their community. And as the uncertainty continues to unfold, families like that of Zabron Ongechi stand out as living examples of what it means to thrive even in the most adverse circumstances. Makori Ongechi, Citizen TV.
The ones